Okay. This damper is sticking because I've got power going to it right now. Let's see if I can get the lid off the motor. Sometimes the lid will rub on the motor and stop it. So we have to lightly put the motor on so it does not touch it. Put the motor cover on. Now, as you can see, the damper is opening, but it's sticking. If I give it a push, it should spring open. So this damper is sticking. And this is the one that does the downstairs. So the downstairs damper has an occasion to stick closed because it's power open, spring closed. So if I just go like that and let it go, it springs open with no problem. But if I go put power onto it, like the zone board, which I'm doing right now, I just put 24 volts to it. You can see that it is closing. So that's the motor spinning for the damper. The damper is fully closed. I'm going to go ahead and pull the power off of it. Now it should spring open by itself because the wires are not touching. So if I push it, it should spring open really fast. So damper motor for the downstairs is sticking and probably needs to be replaced. You see that it's stuck. It should come all the way around to there, and that's fully open. So let's put the power back to it. Now we will see the damper is opening. I'm sorry, closing. It's power closed, spring open. So now that damper is almost closed. Now it's fully closed. Now we'll do the spring test again. It should spring open once I pull the power loose. It's only 24 volts, so it's not shocking me. It's like a 9-volt battery. So I pulled it loose. It should spring open. Why is it not? Because the spring is weak. The motor's only spinning because the spring is opening the damper. So you have one damper that is intermediately failing. Sometimes opening, sometimes closing, but you can see it's sticking. And the only way I can spin it by hand, make that damper open, and it still sticks. It should be all the way over to here. So if I can get a good view here. Now that would fully open the downstairs damper. So you have one damper that needs to be replaced so far. This is the downstairs damper. I'm going to reattach the power because it's power closed, spring open. It has no problem opening. The problem is that it is sticking closed due to a weak spring located down here. So you can see it struggles a little bit, but now that damper is fully closed. Now I'm going to take the wire loose again for one more test to take the power away, and it should automatically spring open, which it's not doing unless I give it a push. And now it's stuck about halfway closed unless I push it again. The motor's just spinning. The wires are disconnected. So the motor's just spinning because the spring is weak, which is underneath here. So the spring is weak on the damper. I push real hard. Now that damper is fully open. So, long story short, this damper is intermediately failing in the closed position, not fully opening when it's de-energized. I'll put the little motor cap back on, but I'm just going to very lightly, there's a notch there and a notch right there, and get them to clip in there and leave it loose. Tie the wires back together, which should power it closed. Now you can't see the motor spinning, but you can see the shaft. So the problem is not them closing, the problem is the spring is wore out and it is not springing the damper open like it's supposed to. So that's the downstairs damper. I'm going to stop here and then I'm going to move to the upstairs damper and check that one.